The thunder cracks like bones breaking over Blackwood Hall, and Duke Lucien Blackwood stands frozen in his study, staring at a letter that shouldn't mean anything to him. The wax seal is broken, the paper thick and expensive, the handwriting elegant and entirely unfamiliar. His hands tremble as he reads it again, searching for some anchor of recognition that refuses to come. "I don't know this woman," he whispers to the empty room, his voice barely audible above the storm. "I don't know this handwriting, so why does my chest feel like it's being ripped open?" The words are simple, devastating. "You owe me a debt, Your Grace, and I've come to collect. E.H." A knock shatters his spiraling thoughts. Graves, his butler for the past decade, enters with the practiced silence of a man who's learned to read his master's moods. "Your Grace, there's a Lady Elowen Hartwell here to see you. She insists it's urgent." The name detonates in Lucien's mind like lightning finding ground. It echoes in his skull, resonating in places he can't quite reach, like a bell ringing in a locked room. He knows that name. He doesn't know that name. Both truths exist simultaneously, tearing him apart. "I don't know anyone by that." The door swings open before he can finish, and she walks in like judgment itself. Rain streams from her cloak, pooling on the Persian rug his mother once treasured. Her eyes are the color of winter storms, and they hold nothing but contempt. "You don't remember me," she says, and it's not a question. "Of course you don't." Then it hits him, a fragment, sharp and sudden. Her face, younger, softer, laughing in candlelight. The memory is there and gone in a heartbeat, leaving only the ghost of warmth and an ache he can't explain. Lucien grips the edge of his desk, knuckles white. "Have we met?" Something flickers across her face. Pain, maybe, or rage so old it's calcified into something harder. "Met?" The word drips with venom. "You ruined me, Lucien, 7 years ago. That night. The night you swore you'd protect me." She reaches into her cloak and drops a velvet pouch onto his desk. The contents spill across the mahogany, a ring, gold and familiar, bearing the Blackwood crest. His mother's signet ring, the one that went missing years ago. The one he hasn't thought about since when? "You gave me this," Elowen says, her voice quiet now, lethal. "And then you destroyed my life." He forgot the woman he ruined, but she never forgot him. What happens when the truth he buried comes knocking? Keep watching, because in 60 seconds, she'll show him proof he can't deny. Don't look away now. You need to see what he did. Subscribe, like, comment, and share with your family and friends. Now let's continue. Lucien won't let her leave. Not like this. Not with his mother's ring burning a hole in his conscience and fragments of memory flickering like dying candles in his mind. He follows her into the corridor, his voice sharp with desperation. "You can't just walk in here, accuse me of something I don't remember, and expect me to..." "To what?" She doesn't turn around, doesn't slow her stride through the dimly lit hallway. "To believe me? To feel guilty? Don't worry, Your Grace. I expect nothing from you anymore." She passes close enough that her cloak brushes his arm, and that's when it hits him. The scent. Lavender and rain, delicate and haunting, threading through his senses like smoke. The world tilts. A garden at night. Moonlight on wet grass. A woman in a white gown, her hair loose and wild, her hands clutching his. Her voice trembling but fierce. "Promise me, Lucien. Promise me you'll come back." And his own voice, younger, certain. "I swear it. On my life, I swear it." He stumbles, catching himself against the wall. His breath comes too fast, too shallow. "That scent," he manages, his voice barely his own. I know it. She stops then, turns slowly. Her eyes are sharper now, cutting through his confusion like a blade. You should. You said it was your favorite. A pause, heavy with meaning. You said a lot of things, actually. But you don't remember, do you? The words are soft, almost gentle, but they land like accusations. Convenient. I've had... He forces himself to stand straight, to meet her gaze even as his world fractures around him. I've had gaps. Since the accident. 7 years ago. Something flashes across her face. Recognition, maybe, or vindication. Accident? She reaches into her cloak again, pulls out a folded piece of newsprint, yellowed with age. Is that what they told you? He takes it with numb fingers. The headline screams up at him from the past. Duke Lucien Blackwood survives carriage accident. Memory loss reported. There's a sketch beneath it, his face younger, bandaged. The date catches his eye. 7 years ago. March 15th. The night after you ruined me, Elowen says, her voice steady as stone. You had your accident. She steps closer, and he can see the rage banked behind her eyes like coals waiting to ignite. How fortunate for you. How perfectly timed. The implication hangs in the air between them, poison and promise. His fingers tighten on the clipping, crinkling the fragile paper. What are you saying? I'm saying that the morning after you destroyed my reputation, you conveniently lost all memory of the woman you claim to love. She takes the clipping back, folds it with precise, angry movements. Tell me, Your Grace, do you believe in coincidences? The lavender scent lingers in the air, mixing with the storm wind coming through the open windows. Somewhere in the locked rooms of his mind, something is trying desperately to break free. Sleep is impossible. Lucien lies in his bed, staring at the canopy above, watching shadows dance across silk as the storm finally exhausts itself. Every time he closes his eyes, he smells lavender. Every time he breathes, he hears a voice promising something he can't quite grasp. At midnight, he gives up and wanders the halls like a ghost in his own home. He finds her in the library, standing before the portrait of his parents. The candlelight makes her look softer somehow, vulnerable in a way she hasn't allowed herself to be since she arrived. She's staring at his mother's painted face with an expression he can't name. Your mother was kind to me, Elowen says without turning. She would have been ashamed of what you did. The words are a knife between his ribs. Then tell me what I did. She's quiet for a long moment, and then she begins to hum. It's soft at first, barely audible, a melody that winds through the air like silk thread. Haunting, achingly familiar. The memory slams into him with the force of a physical blow. A ballroom, chandeliers glittering like stars, her in his arms, spinning, laughing. That same tune humming between them as they waltz past disapproving faces. The world narrowing to just the two of them, just this moment, just this perfect. When the night falls, and the stars weep. Her voice breaks through, singing now, soft and devastating. Hold me close. Don't let me sleep. His breath catches in his throat. He can't breathe. Can't think. Can only stand there as the past bleeds into the present. That song, he whispers. You sang it to me. I sang it to us. She turns finally, and there are tears on her cheeks, glittering in the candlelight. The night you told me you loved me. The night you said nothing in the world mattered more than being with me. The humming stops. The silence that follows is somehow worse. And the morning after, her voice cracks, splintering like ice. You told the world I was a liar I would never. You did. The words are steel now, sharp and unforgiving. You called me a fortune hunter. You said I seduced you, that I tried to trap you into marriage with lies and manipulation. Your cousin, Lord Armand, backed your story. He told everyone he'd witnessed my schemes. The Ton destroyed me, Lucien. They called me a whore, a schemer. My family disowned me to save their own reputation. Armand's name lands like poison in his mouth. His cousin, his closest friend, the man who helped him through the accident, who managed his affairs when he couldn't remember his own name. Why does hearing it now feel like swallowing glass? Why would I do that? The question comes out broken. Why would I? That, Elowen says quietly, is what I came here to find out. Lucien finds Armand in the East Wing office at dawn, bent over ledgers like he's been there all night. His cousin looks up with that easy smile that's always felt like safety, like home. Lucien, you're up early. The storm keep you awake? Elowen Hartwell. Lucien doesn't sit, doesn't soften it, just throws the name between them like a gauntlet. Tell me about her. Something flickers across Armand's face. Surprise, maybe concern, but the smile never quite fades. Elowen Hartwell? Good God, Lucien, that was years ago. A scandal, nothing more. You did the right thing. What if I didn't? The smile falters, just for a heartbeat, but Lucien catches it, watches his cousin's fingers still on the ledger page, watches the calculation happen behind his eyes. You were ill, Armand says carefully, setting down his pen. The doctor said the accident damaged your mind. You couldn't remember properly, couldn't think clearly. I helped you through it. By telling me what happened, by protecting you. Armand stands now, moves around the desk with the confidence of a man who's been managing this estate, managing Lucien's life for 7 years. From a woman who would have destroyed everything our family built, from a scandal that would have ruined the Blackwood name. Lucien's eyes drift to the open ledger on the desk. Something about the entries catches his attention. Payments, regular and substantial, to names he doesn't recognize. He moves closer, and Armand steps subtly to block his view. Too late. What are these? Lucien reaches past his cousin, flips back through the pages. His finger lands on an entry from 7 years ago, the ink faded but legible. Payment to Dr. Thorne for services rendered. Memory suppression therapy. The air leaves the room. What is this? Lucien's voice is dangerously quiet. Armand's face hardens, the mask of concern finally cracking. Insurance, he says simply. For the family, for the title, for everything you were about to throw away for a nobody with a pretty face. You paid someone to... Lucien can't finish the sentence, can't wrap his mind around what he's reading. You made me forget? I saved you from making the worst mistake of your life. Armand's tone is cold now, matter of fact. You were going to give it all up, Lucien. The duchy, the fortune, the respect. For what? For love. He says the word like it's a disease. I did what our family needed. What you would have thanked me for, if you'd been thinking clearly. Lucien stares at his cousin. This man he's trusted, relied on, believed, and sees a stranger. The accident, he breathes. Was it even real? Armand's silence is answer enough. Lucien finds Elowen in the garden, where the storm has left everything glistening and new. She's sitting on the stone bench near his mother's roses, holding a wooden box worn smooth with age. When she sees him, something in her expression shifts. Not quite hope, but maybe the ghost of it. I need to show you something, she says. The box opens with a soft creak, and inside are letters. Dozens of them, tied with a faded blue ribbon. His handwriting stares up at him from the yellowed pages, and even before he reads a word, he knows what they are. She hands him one, her fingers trembling slightly. "You said you'd marry me, no matter what your father said." He unfolds it carefully, reads words he doesn't remember writing but recognizes in his bones. "My darling Elowen, I would give up every title, every acre, every pound, if it meant waking beside you every morning. You are worth more than all the kingdoms of the world." The memory explodes behind his eyes. His father's study, dark wood, and darker rage. The old Duke's face purple with fury. "She's beneath you, Lucien, a baron's daughter with no fortune and questionable connections. Marry her and you lose everything. I will cut you off without a shilling. The Blackwood name will be stripped from you." And his own voice, young and desperate and so certain. "Then strip it. I don't care. I love her." Lucien's heart pounds so hard he thinks his ribs might crack. "My father," he whispers. "He threatened to disown me." "And you chose the title." Elowen's voice is hollow, like she's said these words so many times they've lost all meaning. "You stood before the tun and called me a liar. Said I invented our entire courtship, that I was a scheming opportunist who tried to trap you." "No." The word comes out fierce, certain. "I wouldn't. I couldn't." She pulls out one final letter, separate from the others, unfolded. The paper is creased like it's been read 1,000 times. "You wrote this the morning after you destroyed me. Read it." His hands shake as he takes it. The date at the top, March 14th, 7 years ago, one day before the accident. The words are rushed, desperate, his handwriting barely controlled. "Forgive me, Elowen. I am a coward. What I did yesterday, what I said, it was the act of a man too weak to fight for what he loves. But I will fix this. I swear on my life. I will make this right. I will tell them the truth. I will claim you as mine, consequences be damned. Wait for me. Please, my love, wait for me. I am coming for you. L." The letter falls from his fingers. "I was going to make it right," he breathes. "I was going to tell the truth. But you never sent it." Elowen picks up the letter, folds it with mechanical precision. "Because that afternoon, on your way to find me, you had your accident." She looks at him with eyes that have seen too much, survived too much. "So tell me, Lucien, what happened between writing this letter and that carriage crash? What happened in those few hours that made you forget you ever loved me at all?" The question hangs in the morning air like smoke, and Lucien has no answer. Only the growing certainty that someone made very sure he never would. Dr. Thorne's practice sits on the edge of the village, a modest building that smells of carbolic and old secrets. The physician is older now, grayer, and when he sees Lucien in his doorway, all the blood drains from his face. "Your Grace." His voice cracks on the title. "I wasn't expecting. You treated me." Lucien steps inside without invitation, closes the door behind him. 7 years ago, after my accident. Yes, of course. Terrible tragedy. You were very fortunate to survive. Tell me about the memory suppression." Thorne goes perfectly still. The lie dies on his lips before he can speak it. He can see it in Lucien's eyes. He already knows. "I don't know what you..." "Don't." The word is sharp enough to draw blood. "I found the ledger, the payment. I know what you did. I just need to know why." The old physician sinks into his chair like a man accepting his execution. When he speaks, his voice is barely a whisper. "I was paid to ensure you forgot. Hypnotic suggestion, combined with herbal sedatives. It was experimental, dangerous, but effective." He looks up, and there's something like guilt in his watery eyes. Lord Armand said it was for your own good, that you were having a breakdown, that the memories were destroying you. Why would he want me to forget? But even as Lucien asks, pieces are clicking into place with sickening clarity. Because you were going to renounce your title. Thorne's words come faster now, like confession. For her, for that woman. He said you'd gone mad with love, that you were about to throw away everything, your inheritance, your position, your family name. He said saving you from yourself was the only option. The memory rises like water, drowning him. The night before the accident. Not his father's study this time, Armand's rooms. Lucien standing there with fire in his blood and certainty in his heart. I'm going to tell them the truth tomorrow. His younger self says, fierce and foolish, I'm going to take back every lie I told about her. I don't care about the duchy. I don't care what father does. I love her, Armand. I'm going to marry her, and nothing. Then you'll lose everything. Armand's voice is cold, calculated. He's standing by the window, backlit by moonlight, and his silhouette looks wrong somehow. Predatory. The title, the fortune, the name, everything our family has built for generations. I don't care. Well, I do. Armand turns, and his face is hard as granite. I won't let you destroy us, cousin. Not for this. Not for her. You can't stop me. Can't I? The memory fragments, scatters. Then, a carriage. Horses screaming. The world turning over. Pain. Darkness. And when he wakes, Armand's face above him, speaking words that become truth because Lucien has no other truth to hold on to. Lucien gasps, stumbling back against Thorne's desk. His breath comes in ragged bursts. He staged the accident, he says, and it's not a question anymore. He tried to kill me. Thorne says nothing. His silence is confirmation enough. Armand is waiting in the study when Lucien returns, standing by the fireplace like he owns it, like he owns everything. Perhaps he does. He's had 7 years to make it so. You've been digging, cousin. It's not a question. Armand pours himself brandy with steady hands, the picture of calm. Visiting old doctors, asking uncomfortable questions. You tried to kill me. The brandy glass pauses halfway to Armand's lips. He takes a sip, savoring it. I saved you. From ruin. From a lovesick mistake that would have destroyed everything our family worked for. He sets down the glass with deliberate care. You should be thanking me. Thanking you? Lucien's voice is barely controlled rage. You staged a carriage accident. You had my memories stolen. You let me believe. The door opens. Elowen steps in, and she's holding a document, aged and official, with wax seals and signatures. Her hands are shaking, but her voice is steel. We were married, Lucien. In secret. The night before your accident. The world stops spinning. She unfolds the certificate, holds it up. The date screams at him. March 13th, 7 years ago. 2 days before the accident. His signature. Her signature. A priest's name he half recognizes. Marriage certificate. Duke Lucien Blackwood and Lady Elowen Hartwell. You made me your duchess, she whispers. And then it all comes flooding back. Not fragments this time, but the full, devastating truth. The chapel. Small, hidden, lit only by candles. Elowen in a simple white gown, flowers in her hair, tears streaming down her face. His hands shaking as he slides his mother's ring onto her finger. I am yours. Forever. No matter what comes. No matter who tries to stop us. Forever. Elowen. Her voice breaking. Forever. The kiss. The joy. The certainty that they'd won. That love had won. that nothing could touch them now. And then, the door slamming open. Armand in the doorway, face twisted with fury. "You fool. You absolute fool." "It's done, Armand. We're married. Legal and binding. Father can't—" "Father won't have to do anything. I will." The memory shifts. The next day, the carriage. Lucien inside, the marriage certificate in his pocket, going to find Elowen, to bring her home, to announce their union to the world. The horses suddenly screaming, the wheels locking, the sickening lurch as the carriage tips, rolls, crashes. And through the shattered wood and broken glass, Armand's face. Not shocked, not horrified, just cold, calculating, watching as consciousness fades. "Forgive me, cousin, but the Blackwood name is worth more than your heart." Lucien gasps, the present crashing back. He looks at Armand, and everything he thought he knew crumbles to ash. "You took everything from me," he breathes. "My wife, my memories, my life." "I took nothing." Armand's voice is ice. "You were going to throw it away. The title, the fortune, the legacy. For what? For her?" He glances at Elowen with contempt. "A nobody with nothing to offer, but a pretty face and hollow promises. She was my wife. She was a mistake." Armand steps forward, and there's something dangerous in his eyes now. "And mistakes can be corrected." Lucien moves between them, protective, instinctive. "You won't touch her." "I already have, cousin." Armand's smile is a blade. 7 years ago I destroyed both of you. What makes you think I can't do it again?" Armand's hand disappears into his coat, and when it emerges, there's a pistol. Small, elegant, deadly. The kind of weapon a gentleman keeps for protection, or for silencing inconvenient truths. "The marriage was never legal," he says, his voice steady despite the gun trembling slightly in his grip. "No witnesses beyond a corrupt priest I paid off years ago. No record in any church registry that matters. She has nothing. Except this." Elowen's voice is calm, too calm, as she reaches into her bodice and pulls out a locket. Gold, tarnished with age, hanging from a delicate chain. She opens it with a soft click. Inside, a lock of dark hair, silky and fine. And beneath it, folded so small it's almost invisible, a document. She unfolds it carefully, hands steady where Armand's shake. A birth certificate, official seals, dated 6 years ago. "Our daughter," Elowen says, and her voice finally cracks. "She's 6 years old." The words detonate in Lucien's chest like gunpowder. The room spins. He can't breathe, can't think. Can only stare at the paper that says Clara Blackwood, daughter of Duke Lucien Blackwood and Duchess Elowen Blackwood. "You're lying!" Armand's voice rises, sharp with panic. The pistol wavers. "You're lying! There's no child! There can't be!" "Her name is Clara." Elowen's tears fall freely now, but she doesn't wipe them away. "And she has your mother's eyes, Lucien. That same shade of blue. She asks about you. Every night she asks when her father is coming home." Lucien's knees nearly buckle. A daughter. He has a daughter. 6 years old. 6 years of birthdays and first words and scraped knees and bedtime stories, and he's missed all of it. Every single moment. This changes nothing. Armand's desperation bleeds through now, his mask finally cracking completely. "The estate is mine. The fortune is mine. You've been declared mentally incompetent for years, Lucien. No court will believe you over documented medical evidence. No one will— But I remember now." Lucien's voice cuts through like a sword, sharp and clear and certain. "I remember everything. The marriage, the accident, what you did." He steps forward, and Armand retreats. "And so will everyone else. Dr. Thorne is already giving his statement to the magistrate. The ledgers are being examined. Your carefully constructed lie is falling apart. You can't. Armand swings the pistol toward Elowen. I'll kill her. I'll kill her and the brat, and then there's no proof. No. The study door bursts open. Graves stands there with 3 constables, their faces grim with purpose. Lord Armand Blackwood, the lead constable says. You're under arrest for attempted murder, fraud, and conspiracy. The pistol clatters to the floor as 2 constables seize Armand's arms. He struggles, thrashing like a wild animal, his composure completely shattered. You were supposed to forget, he screams, eyes wild and desperate as they drag him toward the door. Forever. You were supposed to forget forever. I gave you everything. I protected the name. I saved us. You destroyed us. Lucien's voice is quiet, final. And for what? Money? A title that was never yours to claim? It should have been mine. Armand's voice breaks, raw and bitter. I was smarter, stronger, more worthy. But I was born second, so I got nothing while you threw it all away for love. He spits the word like poison, so I took it. I took what should have been mine, and I'd do it again. The constables drag him through the door, his screams echoing down the hallway until they finally fade into nothing. Silence crashes into the study like a wave. Lucien turns to Elowen. She's still holding the locket, the birth certificate, the proof of everything they lost. Her face is wet with tears, but there's something else there now. Hope, fragile as glass. Clara, he whispers. Where is she? Elowen's breath hitches. With my sister, in Somerset. I didn't dare bring her here until I knew. Her voice breaks. Until I knew if you'd even believe me. Take me to her. It's not a request, not a demand. Just a desperate plea from a father who's lost 6 years he can never get back. Please, take me to my daughter. Elowen reaches for his hand, and when their fingers intertwine, it feels like coming home. Like waking from a nightmare into a dawn he thought he'd never see. She's been waiting for you, Elowen whispers. We both have. 1 week later, Lucien stands in the garden where it all began. The roses his mother planted are in full bloom now, their perfume thick in the summer air. He remembers this place. Truly remembers it. The first time he saw Elowen, she was here, cutting flowers for the house. She'd looked up at him with those storm-gray eyes, and the world had shifted on its axis. He hears them before he sees them. Footsteps on the gravel path, one set measured and familiar, the other small and quick. His heart hammers against his ribs so hard he thinks it might break through. Elowen rounds the corner first, and beside her, holding her hand, is a little girl with dark curls and a dress the color of spring sky. She's looking at everything with wide, curious eyes. His mother's eyes, that impossible shade of blue that he sees every time he looks in a mirror. The child stops when she sees him, studies him with the solemn intensity only children possess. Elowen kneels beside her, whispers something Lucien can't hear, and the little girl nods slowly. She takes a tentative step forward, then another. Her voice, when it comes, is small but clear. Are you my papa? The world breaks open. Lucien drops to his knees in the grass, not caring about his expensive trousers or his dignity or anything except this moment. Tears stream down his face unchecked. I am, he manages through the tightness in his throat. I am, and I'm so sorry I forgot you. You didn't forget. Elowen's voice is soft but firm as she moves closer. Someone stole you from us. Clara tilts her head, considering this with a child's simple logic. Did you find your way back? Yes. The word comes out broken. Yes, sweetheart. I found my way back. Mama said you were lost. Clara takes another step. close enough now that he could reach out and touch her. She said sometimes people get lost, but that doesn't mean they stop loving us. Lucien looks up at Elowen through his tears. She's crying too, silent streams down her mauve cheeks, but she's smiling, actually smiling. "Can you forgive me?" he asks, the question meant for both of them, but his eyes locked on Elowen's. She moves closer, places a hand on his shoulder. "I already have. 7 years ago, I forgave the man who loved me, the man who fought for me." Her voice trembles. "Now I just need to know. Is he still here?" Lucien reaches up, takes her hand, presses it to his chest where his heart is trying to beat its way out. "He never left," he whispers. "I never left. Even when I couldn't remember, some part of me was always searching for you. Both of you." Clara, with the fearlessness of childhood, steps forward and wraps her small arms around his neck. She smells like lavender and sunshine and everything he's lost, everything he's found again. "I made you a drawing," she says matter-of-factly into his shoulder. "Mama said you might like it. I would love nothing more." He pulls back just enough to see her face, to memorize every freckle, every dimple. "Will you show me?" She nods enthusiastically, then takes his hand, so small in his and Elowen's hand in her other, creating a chain between them. "Mama, can Papa come home with us now?" Elowen looks at Lucien, and in her eyes is a question, a hope, a future waiting to be claimed. "Yes," Lucien says before Elowen can answer. "If your mama will have me. If you'll have me." "We've been waiting," Elowen says simply. "What's one more day when we've already waited 7 years?" They walk together toward the house, Clara chattering about her drawings and her favorite stories and the kitten she found last week. Lucien listens to every word like it's scripture, his hand never leaving Elowen's. From the study window, Graves watches them. The old butler's face is unreadable as he observes the Duke, his Duke, laughing with a child he never knew he had, holding the hand of a woman he was made to forget. Graves turns from the window and moves to his desk. From the bottom drawer, beneath account books and correspondence, he withdraws a letter. The paper is old, the seal broken years ago, the handwriting achingly familiar. "Graves, if my son chooses love over duty, you know what must be done. I have spoken with Lord Armand. He understands what is required. You will assist him in whatever measures are necessary. The Blackwood name must be protected, our legacy preserved. Sentiment cannot be allowed to destroy what generations have built. Protect the Blackwood name, at any cost. Duke Evander Blackwood." Graves stares at the letter for a long moment. He remembers the late Duke's face when he wrote it, the cold determination in his eyes. He remembers Lord Armand coming to him with plans for an accident. He remembers saying nothing, doing nothing, as they stole a young man's memories and destroyed a young woman's life. He remembers being a coward. The butler walks to the fireplace, where embers still glow from the morning fire. He holds the letter over the flames, watches the edges catch and curl, blackening and turning to ash. The late Duke's final command, the poison that infected this house for 7 years, disintegrates into nothing. "Forgive me, Your Grace," Graves whispers, though he's not sure which Duke he's asking. The father who gave the order, or the son who suffered for it. Outside, Clara's laughter rings through the garden like bells, like absolution, like hope. Graves watches the last corner of the letter burn away, and for the first time in 7 years, he allows himself to breathe. Perhaps some secrets are meant to die with those who keep them. Perhaps some sins can be buried with the men who committed them. The late Duke is gone. Lord Armand is in chains, and Duke Lucien Blackwood finally has his life back. But Graves knows the truth that will haunt him until his own grave. The real villain wasn't just Armand's ambition, or the doctor's greed, or even the father's cold calculation. It was silence. It was complicity. It was good men who saw evil and said nothing. He closes the drawer, straightens his jacket, returns to his duties. In the garden, Lucien lifts Clara into his arms and spins her until she shrieks with delight. Elowen watches them both with a smile that could light the world, and when Lucien sets Clara down and pulls Elowen close, kissing her like a man who's been drowning and finally found air, Graves turns away. Some moments are too sacred, too hard-won to witness. The Blackwood name will survive, but not because of duty or legacy or cold, calculated preservation. It will survive because of love, the very thing the old Duke tried to destroy. And perhaps, Graves thinks as he descends the stairs to prepare tea for his reunited family, that's the only kind of legacy worth protecting after all. You stayed until the end. Thank you. Some stories are about forgetting. This one was about remembering what matters most. If this story touched your heart, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Your next story is waiting. Click now, and let's get lost together again. See you in the next chapter.